food vendors delivered the wrong produce. Hey, and when the drains back up and you gotta be a plumber for the day because quite frankly, there's no budget to pay for a plumber to come in. But I've come to realize through those challenges came the best lessons on how to run my business better. It's through those experiences that inform your decision to create a solution to a problem. And what's awesome is that can apply to almost anything so long as you continue to learn and advance. What's unique to the restaurant business is the sensory overload. It's a mentally, physically demanding job where you're in a harsh environment between the lava-hot oil splatter, fire, razor-sharp knives all around you while you're trying to work in a hot, tight kitchen space and the chef is calling out order after order relentlessly for hungry, eager customers. All the while this is happening, you have to plate the food beautifully, knowing that it's going to go to a customer who's going to eat it and shit it out. Did I mention that you're only as good as your last meal? So even if you've done that dish 1,000 times perfectly prior to putting out one shitty dish, you're gonna get judged on that shitty dish. So for most of my career, until
Enter
I
the
just
game and tap the
accepted that
settings
this
button
is
in the
how my
upper
life
right
is
corner.
going to be so
Then
long as I
navigate.
stay in this business, I never had a feeling of relaxation because for the entire shift, I am completely on edge.
I'm so fucking scared right now, you shut up!
So after about 8 to 12 hours of that, depending on the day of the week, of a consistent mild anxiety attack, then comes the order. Then comes the prep for the next day and the cleanup. I get home, I am completely exhausted, I collapse into bed, and right before I'm about to embrace sweet sleep, I wake up because did I forget to turn off the oven? Did I forget to place my meat order? Front of the house, AKA the people who are working in the dining room, don't have it easy either. I see you, but that's a different video. So maybe you're asking yourself, why does the restaurant working environment need to be like that? Why do you have to pack out the dining room every day and drive yourself fucking crazy to make a few bucks? Well, that's the whole point. Usually, if a restaurant is not busy as hell, they're not making enough money. They're not covering margin. And that is exactly where I fucked up. The margins. Those fucking margins. It was scary looking back at old P&L statements because it is embarrassing how bad I was running Mission Sandwich Social. But before we go there, what's a P&L statement? A P&L or profit and loss statement, also known as an income statement, is a financial report that summarizes a company's revenues, expenses, and profit or losses over a specific period of time. It's a snapshot of a company's financial performance and the ability to generate revenue, manage costs, and make profit. Basically, it's the numbers, and the numbers don't fucking lie. When it comes to basic restaurant economics, these are the margins you should stick to, but just know that it can vary slightly from establishment to establishment or location, yada, yada, yada. 30% food cost. Cost of food used for food sales. Not to be confused with marketing, but we can explain that in a future video. 30% labor. That's all in with taxes, workers' comp, insurance, and management. 30% overhead, rent, utilities, trash, linen. It all gets lumped in there.
5
In a
seconds
perfect
till the
world,
enemy
at the end of the
reaches
day,
battlefield.
you'll walk away with
Smash
10%.
them.
But let me tell you something. I know a lot of
All
people
troops
who are
deployed.
happy as shit with 4%. So what does that
lay
mean?
down the law.
Every $1 of gross, 90 cents of that is going to your bills, and you walk away with 10 cents.
You want your dime back? Take it!
Doesn't sound too good, does it? So this is the embarrassing part. Mission was running at a 40% labor cost
Keep it up.
and a
Until you're as brilliant as me.
55% food cost.
Introducing Exit Lag, the ultimate solution to all connections issues. Lag,
thought about
packet
getting some
loss,
training
disconnects,
at
high ping,
Geo?
and latency. Exit Lag will solve all your gaming connection problems, and it's the choice of hundreds of thousands of players worldwide.
We can
Don't
do
let
it.
lag hold you back. Use Exit Lag and see your skills shine like never before.
First
Become a
blood.
legend with Exit Lag on.
Stop right there. Bullseye.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
I have 12 emails, 30 messages, and a proposal due by 10. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm in an actual boat.
I thought Grammarly just fixed grammar. They make boats now?
It's more of a metaphor.
You can always find your own
Because I've
path
been
to
using
becoming a
Grammarly's AI
hero.
for years to keep me high and dry. Try it. Grammarly can review your writing to make it easier to understand. See? Shorter,
Whoa.
clearer.
The gun represents justice.
Cool.
And best. Now people will get what you're trying to say, and you won't be flooded with confused emails.
Push first.
Can you do mine?
No problem.
Through science,
Your writing's
Eruditio
good, but
aims to
your word
create a
choices could be
better
better.
future for all.
Wow. Try your writing as just confident as you
My
are.
gun is
That's
still
even
fully
possible.
charged.
You know.
Oh, well, what about our proposal?
That one
Let me take a look.
is gonna save
Woof.
someone this
You'll
time.
be in deep water if you show this to the CEO. Grammarly can point out what's missing. Right there. The CEO will want to see a deadline. And here you should connect the projections back to company
The gun
strategy.
represents
Yeah,
justice.
how could I do that?
When
Mia, can you do a
pointing
deep
at the bad
dive?
guys.
On it.
Launch attack.
10% higher revenue by next year.
I'm sending it in.
The CEO loves it. Budget and headcount are approved.
That
Let's
one
get everyone
little
on
girl
board.
is gonna save someone this time.
I meant figuratively, download Grammarly for free.
Request backup. The gun represents justice. When pointing at the bad guys.
So I'm already fucked before the overhead comes into the picture. Now, in all fairness, these are the margins of the restaurant when we first opened, and it's very common to run over margin when you first open because you still need time to figure things out. That's why when you build your pre-opening budget, you factor this in. You give yourself a little bit of runway, basically
little girl
extra money until you figure out your shit. For most of my career, I usually walked into a place that was fully operational. And while I have worked in many newly opened restaurants, my job was really to develop the menu, hire the team,
Let the shining
figure
stars
out
show
the
you the
kitchen
way.
layout. That's actually pretty common for most chefs when they're opening up a place, but I was never really involved in budgeting. My current spot, Mission Sandwich Social, was really the first time where I had to do everything A to Z myself, and I wasn't fully equipped for that. So you must be wondering, why the hell would anybody give me their fucking money to open up a restaurant? Well, to my credit, my food's pretty awesome. At least I think so, and at least my business partners think so. So that, with my willingness to
gun
work
represents
hard and my
justice.
enthusiasm for the concept,
pointing at the bad
and also my
guys.
track record of running very successful restaurants in New York City, gave my business partners the confidence to part with their money and have me start something from scratch. Labor and food costs are variable expenses, meaning I have some control over how much I'm spending. So at the 40% labor cost that I told you about the early days of Mission Sandwich means one of two things, typically. Either I hired too much staff, or the staff that I hired is getting paid more than what the budget can bear.
Now
What does that mean?
I know
A
better.
sandwich shop
I'm
can't
stronger.
hire Gordon Ramsay. Crazy example, but stick with it. Hiring Gordon Ramsay is clearly overkill because his caliber of chef is way too big for what a sandwich shop would need. But let's say I insisted on getting Gordon Ramsay and was willing to pay his insane salary,
That was a
and he
spirit of
took
the
that
moment.
job. That would be fucking crazy. Either Gordon needs to attract enough customers to the business to support that salary, which, now that I think about
Now
it, if Gordon
I know
Ramsay
better.
opened up a sandwich shop, that is possible. But I digress. Or I charge super high prices, or in the worst case scenario, when I don't have enough paying customers, I'm paying out of pocket. Not only was I overstaffed, but the guys I hired were overqualified. So what I was paying my staff was way over budget for the amount of revenue that I was generating. If I can't pull the funds from the revenue I'm generating to cover that payroll, then I have to dig into my pockets or the bank account. You can only do that for so long until the system fails, and there is no amount of runway that's going to fix a broken system. With too much staff,
Through science,
One solution is
Eruditio aims
layoffs.
to create a
But
better
before
future
you do
for
that,
all.
you need to make sure that the quality of food can be maintained with less staff. To get Mission to where I needed it to be, I cut down staff and scheduled
up
myself
until
even
you're
more
as
to work
brilliant
with
as you
people I
have been
retained
slain.
to increase
Rather.
efficiency. Can we make a sauce in half the amount of time? Does it require an ingredient change or a technique change? What system implement to decrease opening setup times by 30 minutes to 1 hour, thus spending less on labor?
was a spur-of-the-moment
Every penny
decision.
counts, and if we can't figure out how to
Thank
get
you.
labor to 30%, we're shutting the doors. And finally, for today's episode, my 55% food cost when it should be 30%.
You can
I can
always
hear
find
my
your
fellow
own
chef
path to
friends in
becoming
the
a hero.
industry guessing. So when we make one of our most popular sandwiches called the Tim Howley, named after guitarist
Let
of
the
heavy metal
shining
band
star
Fit for
show
an
you the
Autopsy,
way.
we slice the chicken breast thin and marinate it with salt,
Time
garlic
to
powder,
shine.
black pepper, oregano,
Our
paprika,
turret is
sugar, a
under
touch of
attack.
cumin, vegetable oil, and moisture to better transfer of flavor from spices to the protein.
Made in Arizona.
In the oven, the sandwich is completed with our Dutch crunch bread, guacamole, fresh picked cilantro, tomato, pepper jack
Our
cheese,
turret
and
has been
house-made
destroyed.
ahi verde sauce. Every single ingredient I just named costs money. And when I charge my
can do
customers, the total cost of that food should not exceed
Bullseye!
30% of the sale price.
No more struggling to write your resume from scratch. Simply fill out our AI-powered questionnaire and watch.
It's either you charge too little or the cost of
An enemy
ingredients
has
you're
been
using
slain.
is too high. Usually a combination of both. If I used extra virgin
gun
olive oil, it
represents
definitely
justice.
sounds nice.
When
Has
pointing
great
at the
flavor.
rampage.
But does this baked chicken need extra virgin olive oil? Maybe, depends on the chef. But for me,
one
the answer
little
is no. In my eyes,
Save
extra virgin
someone.
olive oil is overkill. And in the final product isn't actually going to add more. Plus, it's significantly more expensive than what I use, which is vegetable oil. Now, before you start to freak out and tell me it's blasphemy to use anything but extra virgin olive oil, the
Ever thought
vegetable
about getting
oil
some
is
training
not
at
going to kill you.
Eruditio?
And if you think it is, then
Request
anyway,
backup.
the vegetable
Attack the
oil
Lord.
is a conscious decision on my part because it's
Now
accomplishing
that I know
everything I
better,
needed to
I'm
do
stronger.
based on the fact that it's neutral, so it doesn't add or do anything bad to the flavor of the chicken. It transfers the flavor of the spices to the protein. It also helps transfer the heat in the cooking process as well as being reasonably priced. But what if you
Mom
paid too much
sacrificed
chicken?
her life
After
for this
comparing
city.
prices from vendor to
I won't
vendor,
let
I
anything
found I
happen
can
to
get
it.
the same chicken I was using for
Bullseye!
15% less than what I was getting for it with a different vendor. If I was selling the Tim Howley chicken sandwich for $1
Pointing at
and
that
the
guy.
cost of that chicken was 55 cents, I'm now saving 15 cents per sandwich by going with the vendor. But it doesn't mean 15 cents into my pocket because my margin is still too high. 30% food, 30% labor.
You can always
30%
find your own path to becoming a
I'm
hero.
still off by 10%, but I'm getting closer and closer to the 30% food cost I need it to be. Exactly how I shaved off that last 10% to hit the
Your team
30% margin,
destroyed a turret.
that's gonna have to be
Shut
for another
down.
video. There's still a good story of how I shaved off that last 10% I needed to get to 30%, but I promise you, I did hit that 30% food cost margin, and I did stop hemorrhaging that 60K a month.
Launch attack.
But what about the 30% overhead margin? Because I definitely wasn't at 30%. My packaging costs
More
were completely
firepower
out of
this
control.
time.
How did I fix that?
Play safe.
You'll just have to tune in when I tell you more about how Chef Brian Sal unfucks his business. Before we close out this episode, I want to say thank you to all of my amazing patrons. Thank you so much for your support. And for the rest of you, please consider becoming a patron by clicking the link in the description below. By becoming a patron, get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes and
Don't
patron
underestimate
exclusive
me.
content.
Killing spree! An enemy has been slain. Shut down! Enemy double fire in hand!
Design the
under
perfect
attack.
voice for your brand with 11 Labs. Change the way you
Request backup.
That was a
Request
spur of the
backup.
moment decision.
An enemy has been slain. Request backup.
Understood.
Launch
Understood.
attack.
Keep it up until you're as brilliant as
Request
me.
backup.
Target lock.
An enemy has been slain.
Time to shine.
Our turret is under attack. Enemy double kill. Enemy double kill. Our turret has been destroyed. Enemy triple kill. The enemy has slain Lord. Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
Thank you.
Our turret has been
More
destroyed.
firepower this time.
Our turret has been destroyed. Our base is under attack. An enemy has been slain. Initiate retreat.
The gun represents justice.
An ally
pointing
has
at
initiate
bad guys.
retreat. Our base is under attack. Enemy gone. Launch attack. Launch attack. Down.
Good game. Father. Thank you. Back home.
An enemy has been slain. Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Request backup.
Okay. That was a
Flames.
spur of the moment decision.
Initiate retreat. Enemy double kill. Enemy
Target lock. The
Initiate
gun
retreat.
represents justice. When pointing at the bad guys.
You have been slain.
Thank you.
Our base is under attack. An ally has been slain. Defeat.